Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you, this morning for the best albums of 2020 video, and I'm gonna have to do it in a lot of parts. So be ready for a lot of videos for best albums of 2020 video or videos. So, yeah, this is the best albums of 2020 video, and this is the second to last end of the year video. So I'm going to discuss what the best albums are from 71 to 1 and let you know my thoughts on each one. So I also include EPs, compilations, and soundtracks too. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this uh, video. At number 71, we have Heat with Heat 2. Now, this was a studio album, so an actual album, so yeah. This album wasn't bad. It was pretty good for what it was. I think some songs on it were not my favorites, but I think the album did pretty good for what it was. The Rock Your Body song, I wasn't sure about liking that one. And some other ones, I put it at the top of the list because it just didn't seem like an album to put at the really low list for it. But yeah, it's a pretty good album for what it is. I haven't heard it in a little while, so it's been about months since I've heard it. I think the last time I heard it was in March. So it has been a little while. But still, at number 71, we have Heat with Heat 2. Number 70, we have Childish Gambino with 3:15:20. Now, this one was a little mixed up with what the tracks are gonna be. Like, they mixed around what the names of the tracks are and they added numbers into when they made the tracks, I guess. When Childish Gambino made the tracks, or also known as Donald Glover, which he's really talented as an artist and as an actor too. So, yeah, I didn't hate this album. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. It's just the tracks got mixed around from what it normally should have been. And I was like, I don't like this track setting, this track list setting, or whatever. So, but still, the album did pretty good for what it is, and it made it on my best albums of 2020. So, at number 70, we have Childish Gambino with 3:15:20. And this did come out March 22nd of this year, so yeah. Number 69, we have, get it, 69, dude, from Bill and Ted. We have Poppy with I Disagree. This was a pretty good album. I actually own the CD too, and I'm glad I own the CD because it's worth owning. It's probably one of her better albums that came out this year. I do like Don't Go Outside a lot. That's a great closing track to the album, to the regular edition, because I will be mentioning the deluxe edition later on in one of these videos or whatever. But still, Poppy I Disagree had a lot of favorite songs to bang to. The I Disagree track, the title track, Concrete. Then you have Anything Like Me, Blood Money. The one song, Fill the Crown, was alright. Not my favorite, but it was alright. Sit Stay was a good one, and Bite Your Teeth was a good one too, and Sick of the Sun as well. So there were a lot of pretty dope tracks on this album. So yeah, and the last one, Don't Go Outside. So Yeah, I really enjoyed this album. And at number 69, we have Poppy with I Disagree. I put it at a little bit at the top of the list, but it made it at a solid spot because it's not the best album of 2020, but it is in the best albums, so that's good. At number 68, we have Eminem with Music to Be Murdered By Side B. Now, this did come out like about 10 days ago, and I gotta say, it's actually pretty good. Um, there were some tracks I wasn't sure about liking, like Nat. The G is silent, but Nat, it's called. And it was alright. Not my favorite, but there were some other tracks that were actually pretty good too. I haven't heard it in a little bit, but I'll have to definitely listen to it again when I can. Um, yeah, just some of the other songs. Book of Rhymes was pretty good. It was a pretty dope song. Trying to think of the other tracks because it's been a little bit since I've heard it. Not that long ago, but yeah. I tend to forget track names instantly, so yeah, Alfred Intro was a good one. And uh the song with Skylar Grey, Black Magic, was pretty good. I really liked that one and some other ones as well. So, number 68, we had Eminem with Music to Be Murdered by Side B. Number 67, we have Flora Cash with Baby It's Okay. Uh, this was a pretty good album, actually. I like the last song, and Still Alive. Love is in the Small Things was the last song's name. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album. Um, Sorry that you heard that noise. Uh, but that was my mom yelling. um, yeah, Flora Cash Baby It's Okay was a really good album. I personally love it. I definitely see myself probably gonna buy it digitally, unfortunately, because it's not available for CD yet. I thought it was gonna come out on CDs sooner, but I think it's only a digital album. There were some other songs that were good. I can't remember all the songs, but I think my favorites are Still Alive and Love Is in the Small Things. Um, but there were some other ones that were really good too, but I can't remember them. Um, but yeah, number 67, we had Flora Cash with Baby It's Okay. Number 66, this is an EP I'm going to mention, is Tanaje Comfort and Joy Extended Play. Now, this was a pretty good extended play for what it was. There's God Rest Ye on E Gentleman or something. I think it's called. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the track list again. But I really did like this album. It was pretty good. Or this extended play, I meant to say. Oh Holy Night was a good one. Her voice was pretty nice, but it didn't really hit the really high ranges, but it still did really good. Her voice is really angelic too. And she has this nice falsetto voice that I really like, but it's hard to understand what she's singing at the time when you're hearing it, but still, I really like this extended play from Tanaje, and it's a good Christmas extended play to really celebrate the New Year's and Christmas, of course. But at number 66, we had Tanaje with Comfort and Joy extended play. Number 65, we have Asking Alexandria with Like a House on Fire. Now, I personally thought this album was pretty good. It made it at a kind of upper part of the list. like almost to the very top of the list, but it still didn't do too bad. There was What's Gonna Be, that was one of my favorites. It's Not Me, It's You was a really awesome song. Then you have a few others like mm, the singles, Down to Hell, I think it's what it's called. Yeah, Down to Hell. Um, Like a House on Fire, or House on Fire, it's called. I think it should have been called Like a House on Fire, but that's just me. Uh, We Don't Want What They Want and They Don't Care. Uh, I think is what it's called. It's a very long title, but it's pretty good for what it is. An anti-socialist was a anti-socialist, I meant to say, was a really good song too. I really liked that one. Give You Up was not a bad one. Had some electronics in it, but still not bad. And The Violence, of course, is a favorite of mine. And some other ones too. So at number 65, we had Asking Alexandria with Like a House on Fire. This was a really awesome album, and I do see myself purchasing it. It's probably going to have to be in the new year, of course. Number 64, we have Pearl Jam with Gigaton. Now, I called it Giganton when I reviewed it. I'm like, oh shit, I think I screwed up on this review. But it's okay. I still like the album. Uh, but sorry that you heard that. Um, yeah, Pearl Jam Gigaton was a really good album. Whoever Said was a pretty awesome track. Super Blood Wolf Moon, I think, is one of the other songs. Uh, Not too bad of a song, but still, not a bad track either. Uh, it wasn't my favorite, but it was fine. And some other tracks that I really enjoyed from the album. So Pearl Jam did a pretty good job on their new album, and it made it at a pretty solid spot on my best albums of 2020. So at number 64, we had Pearl Jam with Gigaton. Sorry that I couldn't mention all the tracks. I just it's been a while since I've heard this album, so I'd have to go back and hear it again. So yeah. Number 63, we have Maddie and Tay with The Way It Feels. Now, this was like a 15-track album. They had Dierks Bentley on this album too, and it wasn't so bad. Just some songs not so great, but it's still got an 8.5 out of 10. I really like this album. Someone got me into this album like earlier this year, but I don't talk to that person anymore because it's a long story. Not long story, but we just don't talk anymore. But yeah, Maddie and Tay, The Way It Feels was a pretty good album. I really liked this one. The first track was really good, and some other songs on there were really good. It has been a while because I haven't returned to it as much. Like, the replay value is good, but it's they are a country duo, girl duo group or whatever, I guess you could say. But they actually do pretty good with the songs they make and all that, and it executes pretty well. So I wasn't disappointed with this album. So at number 63, we had Maddie and Tay with The Way It Feels. I'll have to return to you for part 2 of the best albums of 2020 video, but I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this to start things off. So at least I got down to 63, so that's not so bad. And I'll continue from 62 to whatever number I get to in the next part. So thank you for watching part 1 of the best albums of 2020 video. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the interruptions in this video. My mom was like talking to me for a moment or something like that when I was a little busy. But definitely stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon in part 2 of the best albums of 2020 video.